Barrow and Stevenage among the 5 teams that remain 100% so far in this season's League 2, of course. But what's going to happen in this coming weekend in match number 3 with the latest round of matches and predictions coming at you next. That's right, folks, perhaps giving a prediction video today. We look forward to match number 3. That's right, in this year's EFL League 2 action. Of course, if you've new where you've been, smash your subscribe button, bang up to all things League 2 related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We got all here, boys, under one roofski. That's right. Amongst them as well, Walsall lead the table, of course, with their emphatic goal-scoring business, with Crewe and Leyton Orient making up the Power 5. Who can join them, of course? Who will separate them, of course, this coming weekend? We'll take a look at all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the mafioso. That is, of course, the patrons, of course. Big shout out to them. But anyway, let's get into it. Of course, take a little look back at how you all got on last Friday, then, shall we, in League 2. That's right. So here we go. Where am I? There I am, in the top right corner. Let's take a look at the games then, shall we? Of course, my predictions on the left-hand side, the real deal on the right-hand side. So hopefully I got this right. And yes, Barrow against Bradford. Went with a 2-1 win for Bradford, but unfortunately, I got that wrong, of course. That's right. Sparky Hughes' boys stuttering here to a 3-2 loss to Barrow. Colchester did draw with Carlisle with a 2-0 win myself. Leyton Orient made another win there for themselves. 2-1 win for me against Crawley. 1-0 was the final score. Crewe did beat Harrogate 3-0. I went with a 2-0 myself. Doncaster Rovers' big 3-1 win was my pick. 2-1 it was in the final score. Gillingham also won against Rochdale. Called it as well, lads. Called it. Sneevers picked up 2-1 win over Stockport County. 1-0 win for me. Grimsby 2-0 winners over Northampton Town. It was a draw in the end. Hartlepool and Wimbledon drew 0-0, of course. I went with a 2-1 win for Wimbledon. Mansfield picking up a 1-0 win over Tranmere. Was a good result for them. Meanwhile, Newport County did lose to Walsall, and bottom of the shop there, of course, Swindon Town did draw with Salford. I did all right there, guys. Did all right. Let me count that up quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 there out of 12, which is all right. It's all right. We'll see how that does in the leaderboard, of course, when we look at your scores compared to mine. So 7 is the magic number. Remember that. This is the table right here, right now. Walsall lead the charge, 6 out of 6. Crewe's up there as well. Leyton Orient, Barrow, and Stevenage. If the season was to end today, the top 3 will be celebrating like it's 1999. They'll be promoted. Down the foot, though, Crawley, as tipped by me to go down, are down there, 2 for 2. Tranmere also in a bit of trouble. They need to pull their finger out. Let's get to this then. It is the prediction league. It is free to enter. Get involved. Cutley Fortress League 2 is the Google style format of the prediction league, where you go in there and select who you think is going to win, and then hopefully you could be competing with us next weekend, of course. And let's take a little look at how everyone's doing so far in the prediction league. Here we go. These are for this week and this week alone. 7 would have got me into second spot alongside Alex Weller and Jimmy Watton, but Gareth Nicholson and Grandmaster Foe is actually up there with the winning this week. So well done to those guys for doing the business, and well done for the rest of you for taking part. Anyway, what about the overall leaderboard? Now, we have been 2 weekends in so far. This is the overall leaderboard with those 2 combined. So Grandmaster Foe here, actually, I've just spotted here, he should be on, because he's got, again, you got to get your names right each and every time you come around. That's one of the drawbacks with the Google thing. You've got, if Alex Weller next week decided to put Alex Wellers or something like that, there's going to be 2 entries to this. I try to catch it on my end, but sometimes it slips in. So Grandmaster Foe, realistically, if we combine both of them, he's got 13 points. He would also be joint leader right now. So we'll try and clean that up next time around. But also, I'm telling you guys now, make sure you don't mix up your names. It does, again, capitals, lowercase. Each one of those creates a different entry. So try not to do that for me, because this is hard. That's why we're trying to move towards the Super Brew, because it cleans that shit sort of up. But anyway, regardless, it is Alex Weller and, of course, matey boy Grandmaster Foe there. Alongside Gareth Nicholson, Owen A, and Russell Frost, of course, always up there, and Shane O'Donnell, of course. But these are the games for match number 3. We're going to jump at the deep end, of course, and have a look at these games that kick off this coming weekend. Of course, this week has been a League Cup action, Caravana Cup, and a lot of sides are in action. I'm recording this on Wednesday, the 10th of August. That's right. So let's jump at the deep end. Of course, take a look at the next one. Is Bradford up against Newport County at the Valley Parade. Coming at you on the 13th of August, that's right. Of course, these 2 sides have played each other 6 times since 2019. We've got 3 wins for Newport County, 1 win for Bradford, and 2 draws, of course. Just 1 win, though, and the last 5 for Bradford City right now, 42% form for them. Up against the Newport County side, who come into this on 50% form, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. And they have beaten Bradford City. The biggest win was a 3-0 win. The biggest win away, a 1-0 win. Meanwhile, Bradford just scored 3 goals compared to Newport County, 7 over the course of those 6 games. Works out around about 0.5 goals a game for Bradford, 1.17 goals a game game for Newport County. Coming at you though, last time around at Valley Parade was a 0-0 draw back in March 2022. And of course, Bradford coming to this on the back of a 2-1 win over Hull. Big win for them in the Caterpillar Cup. Also, Newport County beating Luton Town. Both of those sides are in the Championship. The odds for this one, though, shall we? We've got Bradford 13-10 for the record. 2-1 is your Newport County. 23-10 is your draw. I'm back in Bradford City to get a win here, one way or another, and of course move the chains at long last. Carlisle will take on Swindon Town though on the same weekend over in Carlisle. Played each other 21 times. It's done 6, 8 wins to Swindon, 6 wins to Carlisle, 7 draws of course. Just one defeat in the past 6 for Carlisle right now. 67% form up against the Swindon side, who pick up just 1 win at the last 6. Of course, biggest win over each other, 4-0 win. That's of course both of them. And Carlisle scored 25 goals over the course of the 21 games, working out about 1.19 goals per match. On the flip side, Swindon have scored 30 goals in the 21 games, works out around about 1.43 goals a match. Last time I played in Carlisle was a big 3-0 win for Swindon back in February 2022. And of course, Swindon did lose to Ulster in the Caterpillar Cup. Carlisle also crashing out at the hands of Shrewsbury. That's of course we played on Tuesday night. 15-8 is your Carlisle, 11-8 is your Swindon, 12-5 is your draw. Back in of course a home win here, 2-1 win for Carlisle. They started off okay. Swindon started off a bit shitty. Moving on, we have Walsall there in action, top of the table up against Stevenage. Of course, both sides coming into this 100% form so far in the league. Meanwhile, these two sides played 11 times in 2011, 3 wins apiece and 5 draws. Of course, just 1 defeat in the past 6 for Walsall right now, 83% form. Up against the Stevenage side, also 83% form, picking up 4 wins and a couple of draws as well. Biggest win for Stevenage over Walsall, 3-1 win. The biggest win in the way, a 1-0 win. In fact, Walsall scored 11 goals compared to Stevenage's 13. Works out about a 1 goal a game for Walsall, 1.18 for Stevenage heading into this. Last time I played at Walsall, it was a 1-0 win for Walsall. In fact, the away side hasn't won this game. Stretching all the way out to 2011, so it's been a while since the away side has picked up OW on this one. Of course, Stevenage with a big 2-1 win over Championship Reading, also beating of course Swindon. We talked about that earlier. The odds on this one, 7-5 is your Walsall, 2-1 is your away win, and 11-5 is your draw. 1-1 in the end for these two table toppers, of course, which of course remain unbeaten. Moving on to match day number 4. Meanwhile, Harrogate Town up against Crawley. That's why I played the 4 times in 2020, 1 win apiece and 2 draws. Of course, just 1 win in 6 though for Harrogate right now, 25% form. Against Crawley side, who picked up 3 defeats in the past 4 games, 42% form. That's right. Biggest win for Crawley over Harrogate, 3-1 win. The biggest win in the way, also a 3-1 win. In fact, they both scored 7 goals against each other, working out around about 1.75 goals per match. Last time around though, at Harrogate, it was a 3-1 win for Crawley back in February 2022. Crawley did beat Bristol Rovers though in the Cup to score their first W. Harrogate also crashing out to the hands of Stockport in the Caterpillar Cup as well. Meanwhile, look at the odds for this one then, shall we? What we got? We've got Harrogate coming at you, 23-20 for the victory, 23-10 is your draw, 9-4 is your away win. That's Crawley Town. 1-0 win for the hosts here. Harrogate Town, of course, moving the chains and keep on keeping on. Leyton Orient up against Mansfield at Brisbane Road. That's right, coming at you this coming Saturday. Played each other 16 times, 9 wins for Leyton Orient and 3 wins for Mansfield. And we've got 4 draws, of course. Just 1 defeat though in the past 4 games for Leyton Orient, 42% form. Up against the Mansfield Town side, we've won 2, lost 2 over the last 4, 58% form, of course, heading into this. Leyton Orient's biggest win over Mansfield, 2-0 win, the same scoreline for Mansfield's biggest win over Leyton Orient. However, Leyton Orient scored 23 goals compared to Mansfield's 16 over the course of those 16 matches. Works out around about 1 goal a game for Mansfield, 1.44 for Leyton Orient. Meanwhile, moving forward, last time I played at Leyton Orient was a 0-0 draw back in September 2021. In fact, it's been very even over the last 6 games between these two sides. Leyton Orient did crash out the Caterpillar Cup to the Vegans, 2-0 loss there. Meanwhile, Derby County did beat Mansfield also in the Caterpillar Cup to knock them out at the opening stage. The odds here, 11-8 is your Leyton Orient, of course 23-10 is your draw, 90-10 is your Mansfield Town. 2-1 win for me off for Mansfield Town on the road. Bit of a shocker on that one, you would imagine. Meanwhile, Northampton Town up against Hartlepool. That's right, coming in action to this coming weekend. Northampton have played Hartlepool 13 times, 2008, and they picked up 6 victories. And of course, Hartlepool 5 winners and 2 draws as well. Northampton just 1 win. The last 25 games, 25% form for them. Up against the Hartlepool side, who haven't won in the last 6 as well, of course. Biggest win for Northampton Town over Hartlepool, a 5-1 win. The biggest win in their way, a 4-0 win. In fact, Northampton have scored 15 goals compared to Hartlepool's 14 over the course of these 13 matches. Works out at about 1.15 goals a game compared to the 1.08 for Hartlepool heading into this. Meanwhile, of course, they played each other last time around. Northampton was a big 2-0 win for Northampton back in March 2022. Northampton was a big 2-1 win over Wickham. Sorry, a big 2-1 loss over Wickham. weekend. Wow, we were Hartlepool not in action. They haven't been in action since the weekend. They are taking on my Blackburn Rovers tonight. We're not going to have a watch along. Of course, we'll have a gameplay video where I'm going to be hopefully hanging out there, chatting with you guys about the game, and hopefully watching Rovers come out with a W. But anyway, heading into this one, 65 on is your Northampton Town, 13-5 is draw, and 3-1 is your Hartlepool. Going to go with a 2-0 for Northampton here, which could lead to a shitty week for them overall. Meanwhile, Rochdale up against Grimsby at Spotlands. That's right, coming out to this weekend as well. Played 13 times, 4, 10 wins for Rochdale, 1 win for Grimsby, and we've got 2 draws as well. 3 wins and 3 defeats of the last 6 for Rochdale's 50% form up against the Grimsby Town side. Just 1 defeat in the past 6, 67% form for them moving forward. The biggest win for Grimsby over Rochdale, 4-1 win. Biggest win the other way, a 4-0 win. 26 goals scored by Rochdale over the course of the 13 games, works on about 2 goals a game compared to Grimsby's 9 goals scored over the last 13 matches, 0.69 goals as well heading into this. Meanwhile, last round at Spotlands, it was a big 4-1 win for Rochdale back in the March 2010. That was in League 2. Grimsby did beat Crewe 4-0 last round. Rochdale did beat Burton last round under a bit of pressure already in League 1. The odds here, you have 65 is your Rochdale, 25 is draw, 11-5 is your away win. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Grimsby Town on this one. Surprise, surprise on that one. Kicking on forward, what do we have? We have Salford up against Crewe, that's right. Bit of a Northwest crunch clash this one. Taking place on the 13th of August as well. Played each other twice since 2019, 1 win apiece. Salford coming to this 50% form, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. Also against Crewe, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. Crewe's biggest win over Salford, 4-1 win. Biggest win in the way, a 3-1 win. In fact, Crewe scores 5 goals compared to Salford's 4 over the course of these games. Works out about 2 goals a game for Salford, 2.5 goals a game for Crewe as well. Last round over in Salford was a big 3-1 win for Salford. That was back in League 2 on Boxing Day 2019. Salford with a big 5-1 loss against Bolton in the Cup, and Crewe the same with a big 4-0 loss against Grimsby. The odds on this one, 2017 on is your Salford Red Hot favourites, 13-5 is draw, 3-1 is your Crewe on this one. Going to go with the Wayside here. They are up there looking good, and of course hoping to bounce back at the first attempt back into League 1. Stockport County need to get up and running. They're up against Colchester this coming weekend. Played each other 9 times, 3, nothing for Stockport, 7 wins for Colchester, 2 draws of course. Meanwhile, Stockport winning 4 of the last 6, 67% form up against the Colchester side, just 1 defeat the past 5, 42% form for them heading into this. Biggest win for Colchester over Stockport, 2-0 win. They've scored 18 goals compared to Stockport's 9 over the course of those 9 games. Works out around a goal a game for Stockport compared to 2 goals a game for Colchester United. Last round over in Stockport was a big 2-2 draw back in February 2010. That was in League 1, goodness gracious me. Colchester with a big 1-0 win over Ipswich in the Cup. Stockport the same with a 1-0 win over Harrogate to go through to round 2. The odds on this one then, shall we? What do we got going on? We have Stockport 65 on for the victory, 13-5 sure, 3-1 is your away win. Stockport to get the win here, 1-0 win for them. Colchester taking the L on this one. Sutton United up against Barrow, of course, coming at you over at Sutton. I played each other 10 times, 2016. 2 wins to Sutton, 4 wins to Barrow, and 4 draws. Just 1 win to 6 for Sutton right now, 33% form. Up against the Barrow side, who won 3 on the bounce. Goodness gracious me, 67% form for them moving forward, of course. Biggest win for Barrow over Sutton was a 1-0 win. The biggest win in the way, also a 1-0 win. Barrow scored just 10 goals compared to Sutton's 8 over the course of those 10 matches. Works out about 0.8 goals a game for Sutton, 1 goal a game for Barrow on this one. Oh, my bugle has scored more yellows. Well, interesting. Meanwhile, last time at Sutton was a big 1-0 for Sutton back in November 2021. Sutton, of course, crashing out to MK Dons in the Cup. Barrow beating Blackpool, Shock Arena. They're on fire right now, and you don't want to play Barrow right now. 2019 on is your Sutton, of course, 12-5 sure, 3-1 is your away win. Despite all that, back in, of course, the 2-1 win for Sutton United on this one. Barrow taking the first L on this one. Could it be a good old season for Barrow? We'll see next weekend. Tranmere up against Gillingham, of course, coming at you on the 13th of August as well. Played each other 13 times since the year 2000, 5 wins apiece, 3 draws. Just 2 wins of the last 6 though for Tranmere right now. 33% form up against the Gillingham side of 1-3 of the last 4 games, 50% form over the last 6. Biggest win for Gillingham over Tranmere, 2-0 win. The biggest win in the way, a 4-2 win. Tranmere scored 21 goals compared to Gillingham's 20. Works out about 1.62 goals a game compared to the 1.54 for Gillingham heading into this. Last round over in Gillingham was a big 2-2 draw back in September 2019. Gillingham with a big 2-0 win over Wimbledon in the Cup. Back-to-back clean sheets now for them. Actually, they did lose to Wimbledon on opening day, but back-to-back clean sheets, so maybe they've turned it around already. Tranmere with a big penalty win over Accrington Stanley in the Cup to get through to the next stage as well. Coming at you, the odds 11-8 is your Tranmere, 11-5 is your draw, 2-1 is your away win here. 2-0 win for Tranmere on this one to take it to that, and then wrap it up with, of course, Wimbledon up against Doncaster at Plough Lane. Of course, played each other 11 times, 2017. 4 wins for Wimbledon, 3 wins for Doncaster, 4 draws. Just Wimbledon 6 though for Wimbledon right now. 33% form up against the Doncaster side. Just 1 defeat at the past 6 games. 75% form for them moving forward. Biggest win for Doncaster over Wimbledon. 2-0 win. The biggest win the other way. Also a 2-0 win. In fact, Wimbledon scored 14 goals compared to Doncaster 13. Works out about 1.27 goals a game compared to the 1.18 by Doncaster, of course. Last round at Wimbledon was a big 2-2 draw back in February 2022. That was in League One. Wimbledon actually back-to-back games without a loss against Doncaster. Just 1 defeat over the last 5 against Doncaster heading into this, though. Doncaster did lose to Lincoln in the Cup. Wimbledon the same against Gillingham. We just talked about that. The odds on this one, though, 2019 on is your Wimbledon, 13-5 is your draw, 14-5 is your away win. That is, of course, Doncaster on this. 1-0 win for me for the Dons on this one to take the bloody 3 points. And if I'm right, if I bloody well hope so, this is what the table will look like right here. Of course, it'll be Crewe sitting on top of the table with 100% record so far. Walsall up there with alongside Northampton Town, Wimbledon, Stevenage, and Carlisle with also unbeaten records moving forward. That's, of course, my take on it. Be sure to get your own take on it using the old link here, Cutley/League 2, and again, we'll bring it back around next weekend. For match day number 4, that's right, of course. So those are my thoughts and predictions for match day number 3. In, of course, League 2, we've got the same sort of deal going on in League 1, Championship, and beyond. Make sure you check out the channel, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, of course. Check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and Patreon, of course. And we've got the Discord in there, wide open, of course. Get involved with that. But until then, boys and girls, we are done right now.